Just a video thing as well.
Don't have a name.
Podcast?
Midlife crisis.
Paddy Daddy.
Midlife crisis. What's it called?
DADCAST?
That's not bad, actually, yeah.
And we're live. Yeah, you're very welcome along. Whoa. Yeah, you're very welcome along to this week's episode. Everybody can hear me okay? Hello, Dave.
Hello.
You're having some sort of a fit or something?
No, I had the sound turned up too loud. I'm an old man. I had the sound turned up too loud. And I'm a little bit deaf from listening to earphones for 20 years.
I know, that's worrying.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
It is good to be back. Not that you were actually away for the burglars, but you were away.
Yeah, I was away.
We had a big response to the podcast that I just uploaded.
I just saw that.
10 minutes ago.
I just spotted that.
5 days late.
Dear God.
We did it on time last week.
I was wondering why I hadn't got any calls yet from a travel agent saying
They're coming.
Come back to the hotel you were in last year that you gave such rave reviews to, and you know what? Take 50% off.
And bring the DADCAST.
Bring the DADCAST.
Oh, okay. Now I'm interested.
Do we want a DADCAST family holiday? If it was for free, I guess we'd
no,
we'd put up with it.
We can masquerade as us going as a quartet plus our families. When we get there, we can all just go our separate ways. Or we can discover that we're actually sound outside of the workplace as well. I'm flying, Ger. I've realised that my parenting existence is pretty much based on short-termism in terms of the mood that I may or may not be in the current moment.
Okay, go on.
Because last night, I went to bed on the back of 4 or 5 hours of the two of them just being amazing. They woke up this morning, they wanted the Lego thing pulled apart and put on the kitchen table, and they spent an hour and a half. They got dressed and at their brekkie so they could spend the rest of the morning building the Lego. A couple of skirmishes here and there, which you obviously expect. Then I brought them off to crash, and it was just like, I've got the best kids in the world. Yet, this time yesterday morning, I was like, I remember looking at the clock at 8:15 and saying to my wife,
how am I going to get through the day?
It's 8:15 and already I find myself taking incredibly deep breaths so that I don't fly off the handle.
And what had caused the deep breaths?
Just bickering and shouting and I want this and I want it now and I'm not eating my brekkie and I don't want to go to school and they're not the clothes I want to wear today and all that kind of stuff.
So what stopped? Nothing. They just decided they're going to be nice. It is luck, I think. A lot of it's luck, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you didn't do anything different from...
No, not that I can put my finger on, no. Now, I did bring them swimming for the afternoon. We spent an hour and a half in the pool, so by the time they got home, they were absolutely wiped. And they sat on the couch while I made their dinner. They watched a TV program together. They talked to me about whatever was on the TV. And we sat down and ate together. Then I watched some of the golf. They went to bed at 8, fell asleep within 10 minutes.
That's good.
So, I don't know, was there something in that?
They were knackered. Swimming. You tired them out.
Yeah, there's being tired to the point where
you're cranky.
We're cranky and bored, and we're going to fight with each other. And then there's being so physically exhausted that they just want to get curled up under a blanket together, like two little brothers, which they are, and watch the TV together, which is just like fairy tale stuff. So maybe you just have to flog them to within an inch of their lives, come 7 p.m. every night, and they'll be as good as gold.
My wife's a teacher. It's the 14th of June. She's been at home alone with them for about a week and a half, and we're like, we're on the verge of full nuclear. It's like, and it's non-stop. And because I'm not there most of the time, I'm like,
I'm not in school.
Well, only one of them is in school, and that's only till like 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yeah.
So what fills the days?
12. I mean, I don't know. I tend not to ask.
So you leave the kids booked in for summer camp the first week of their holidays?
4-year-olds can't really do summer camps.
No, disaster.
You've got 2 years are just the wrong age.
3 and a 4-year-old at the moment. I mean, we're going to lie, obviously, at some point and try and get her into something later on.
Yeah.
But
does your wife meet you in the hall as you put the key in the door opens, she's gone, and you just go in, and the whole crock of shit just lands on your lap?
It's not far off that.
Literally and metaphorically.
One of the reasons why I was so interested in Nathan's boring holiday stories was because we haven't booked a holiday yet. Okay. Last November we started looking and we didn't get our shit together to book one, so we don't have anything booked. And it's like pouncing on any piece of advice that anybody has. And I went to look up the price of Nathan's, and it's like $6,500 now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I go home because we're planning on going back next year, and I said this to my wife.
You're already looking it up, I'd say.
I said, Ger looking at $6,000, and then we're going, oh no, hopefully, like, we didn't just get.
You've just jacked the prices up for yourself.
Yeah, jacked the price, but also got very lucky with our week or something. But then I discovered Ger was literally looking to book for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Organisation's the key, Ger.
Here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing that's going on at the minute, right? So we can't go on a foreign holiday because 2 members of our family don't have a passport. One of the children and one of the parents, and it ain't me, right? So like, I would like to go somewhere hot and sunny and warm. I was in Madrid for 24 hours. It was like, this is what it's like to be on holidays. It's amazing. You have to go. We have to get out of Ireland where the weather is shitty and pissy and grey non-stop. And everyone's in agreement with that. And now we can't go because someone doesn't have a passport.
Well,
and
we should point out, Ger, though, just that for your own sanity.
I'm like, sort it out.
When did you discover
You can't say
that
that.
two members of the travelling party?
Well, we've known it for a little while.
Okay, so what's going on then? Why hasn't it been sorted?
No activity has happened to fix it.
But is it all everyone's responsibility other than yours?
I mean, I look after my passport, right? And anyway,
What about the passportless child.
Well, whoever needs to get the grown-ups done can get the child at the same time.
But you know you can get it done. Sorry, I know you're jumping in here with something incredibly interesting.
No, I was going to say both of us have had dire passport stories where we were the morning of the flight.
As bad as it
discovered that one of the kids' passports was out of date.
Yeah, so when you have some proof of travel, they will be like, oh, no problems, come on in. We don't have anything booked.
So get it booked.
We have this paralysis where it's like, I can't, because getting the passport will be stressful after that. I'm like, well, it will, but we'll get over that.
There's no guarantees with that. I wouldn't plan that route of let's book a holiday to Spain next week and we'll go into the passport office tomorrow.
Sit up, Nathan.
Like, nothing. She comes in and I'm like, how's it going, how are you?
Just go in and the whole crock of shit just lands in your lap.
It's not far off that.
Literally and
so
metaphorically.
One of the reasons why I was so interested in Nathan's boring holiday stories was because we haven't booked a holiday yet. Okay. Last November we started looking and we didn't get our shit together to book one, so we don't have anything booked. And it's like pouncing on any piece of advice that anybody has. And I went to look up the price of Nathan's and it's like $6,500 now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I go home because we're planning on going back next year, and I said this to my wife.
You're already looking it up, I'd say.
I said, Ger, looking at $6,000, and then we're going, oh no, hopefully, like, we didn't just get.
You've just jacked the prices up for yourself.
Yeah, jacked the price, but also got very lucky with our week or something. But then I discovered Ger was literally looking to book for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Organisation's the key, Ger.
Here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing that's going on at the minute, right? So we can't go on a foreign holiday because 2 members of our family don't have a passport. One of the children and one of the parents, and it ain't me, right? So like, I would like to go somewhere hot and sunny and warm. I was in Madrid for 24 hours. It was like, this is what it's like to be on holidays. It's amazing. You have to go. We have to get out of Ireland where the weather is shitty and pissy and grey non-stop. And everyone's in agreement with that. And now we can't go because someone doesn't have a passport.
Well, we should point out, Ger, though, just that for your own sanity.
I'm like, sort it out.
When did you discover two members of the travelling party?
Well, we've known it for a little while.
Okay, so what's going on then? Why hasn't it been sorted?
No activity has happened to fix it.
But is it all everyone's responsibility other than yours?
I mean, I look after my passport, right? And anyway,
the passportless child.
Well, whoever needs to get the grown-ups done can get the child at the same time.
But you know you can get it done. Sorry, I know you're jumping in here with something incredibly interesting.
No, I was going to say both of us have had dire passport stories where we were the morning of the flight.
As bad as it
discovered that one of the kids' passports was out of date.
Yeah, so when you have some proof of travel, they will be like, oh, no problems, come on in. We don't have anything booked.
So get it booked.
We have this paralysis where it's like, I can't, because getting the passport will be stressful after that. I'm like, well, it will, but we'll get over that.
There's no guarantees with that. I wouldn't plan that route of let's book a holiday to Spain next week and we'll go into the passport office tomorrow.
Sit up, Nathan. What do you mean?
They will. No, they are the staff in that place.
Once you go in,
they only have but they have a 24-hour off. So you need to show that your flight is within the next 24 hours. And even then, like, we had to rearrange our flight.
What?
We had to push it back.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Later.
What?
So you need to be properly
a week ago.
desperate.
Can you not just rock in and go, here, I need to do this today?
No, because everyone would do that.
No, they wouldn't. Most people are actually... Most people will go to the passport. Most people will go to the post office, put it in an envelope and say, do this, and then they send it back to you 6 weeks later and everybody's happy. That's what happens.
The lads were in bed, having been told, you're going to be woken up at about 4 a.m. We're travelling to Italy in the morning. And it's 10 p.m. And I read out all the passports and realised that the eldest guy's passport was a month out of date. You can only imagine.
A very calm atmosphere falls on the head.
Well, it was
an understanding,
But
a general kind of generousness.
It's like it was. Geez, I'm nearly welling up just thinking about that. Just that precise moment where I looked at the date and just went, "Oh my God, the whole holiday is gone." We're supposed to be going away for 10 days with 2 other couples and their kids as well, all on the same flight. And so I just kept it quiet for about 2 minutes while I just gathered my thoughts. My wife was upstairs packing, and I just said, right, like, you control the controllables. This situation
This is
is
out of
irretrievable.
control.
It's irretrievable. You're not getting the flight in the morning. So there's no point getting upset. There's no point getting annoyed. Just take a deep breath here.
Yeah, point scoring.
And start.
Well, you see, that's that's the key. That's
very
the key
difficult
to
this. To apportion blame.
Because my situation was the exact same. The night before, looked at the passport and went, "Oh no,
Was this my job?
no!" But that's the thing. Quickly you go, "This isn't my fault. It's fine. It's bad. It's a terrible thing for the family that our holiday is not going to happen. It's going to cost us.
Why was it not your fault?
It's going to cost us.
He's not going to get blamed.
It's going to cost
It
us.
wasn't your fault because your wife was supposed to look after the passports.
No, it was nobody's fault.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
actually,
it's
there was
a victimless crime.
for once in probably our entire time of parenting, it was the one time
How was it
where
nobody's fault?
because both of us had literally just not
Sorry,
about it.
blame is equally apportioned.
Yes.
That's the
Which
correct.
means there's no blame.
With something that
Cancels out.
with something that serious, if there's a blame to be apportioned, your next couple of weeks are going to be tough.
True. But what all we're saying, Ger, is that like
Sort it out.
our 2 situations were
My passport's in date.
horrendous. We
I'm
had to
going.
go out. We booked flights that night so that we could go into
The following day.
and
Right.
like give the sob story. And they were unbelievable. They were amazing. We walked out of there at 4 p.m. the following day with the passport.
Yeah.
And we were on the flight the next
What time did you
morning.
get in there? Like
Oh,
9?
like I was in there, standing outside the door, the gate, waiting for it to open.
At 9.
And
that's as quick
we
as they
managed
do
to get
it.
an emergency appointment. There were people. We saw people coming in that had no appointments, and they really bent over backwards to look after them.
So you got an appointment through a politician or something? Is that how it was? Was it some strokes were
We
pulled?
got an emergency appointment, thankfully,
Overnight?
and
You rang the ambassador.
late in the day.
Right.
And but the point I'm making was there were people who'd come in that clearly had no appointment.
Yeah. Because I thought you could just
they
rock
were
up with no
just
appointment.
desperate.
Yeah.
But they were looked after.
Right.
So like even they will do whatever they can to help.
It's
you
not
out.
a ticket. My memory is it's a ticket system.
Yeah, it is. But
So appointment or no appointment doesn't really matter.
well, no, I think your chances of you're absolutely going to be looked after if you've got an appointment.
Right.
I think it's hit or miss if you don't.
No,
but they will
I
do
didn't
whatever
even
they
know
can.
that there's a secret world where you can get appointments. Apparently, that's
Well, no,
good.
but there's an appointment system. You go online and book an
Yeah.
appointment.
Ah, okay, right. I
But
didn't-
like
I didn't realise.
this is at the height of summer. So when we were trying to do it, the emergency appointment system was almost saturated as well. So
Right. How did you get yours?
Something similar. I think we went in at 8:30 in the morning, queued up outside, had all our flight details, had all the passports. Our flight was that day at 2:00,
Right.
but they won't give it to you till that evening. So
Yeah.
we had to cancel our flights.
Right,
We booked them
irrespective.
all for the
Okay.
next day.
Ooh.
For
it cost
4
us
people.
several €100, but
We got
like
there
you just have to
eventually.
swallow that. You've made the cock up. You have to swallow the cost and
Yeah.
hope that you can still retrieve the holiday. My fear was that the whole thing would be lost. And the good thing for us was it probably more different for you because your boys are a bit older. My 2 were just young enough to wake up the next morning and have forgotten entirely that they were supposed to be going on holidays. So we kind of sidestepped the devastation on their part the following morning.
Why don't you just stay in Ireland, Ger?
I know that's probably what's going to happen.
Imagine you had booked your staycation for this 10-day period.
And it's
I
going
know.
to lash.
How grim would that be?
Yes.
But I do fear for Ger because he's now basing his excitement around his foreign trip on his 24 hours in Madrid when his family were not around. But he was at the Champions League final and he was having quite a good time.
This is true.
Your
It'll be
foreign
different.
holiday is going to be slightly different.
But so we found this like little beach place in the north of Spain where the weather won't be too amazingly hot. Like it's not going to be 40 degrees, and it's very close to some nice places that we can do on day trips. And like it's a beach holiday. The kids will be thrown in the water and they will run up and down, and that's all they're going to get. There'll be no kids club. There'll be no hanging out with other kids, and you're making funny faces.
We went to the beach.
Dave's face.
We went to the beach one day
I've
on our
never seen him
holiday.
grimace. It's like you're pulling his toenail out.
What do you say?
Did you go to the beach every?
The naivety is
Did you go to the beach every day on your holiday?
We went to the beach Out of the 7 days, I think we went 4.
Okay.
One of which was like wet and overcast.
Right.
But that was, the lads had their full clothes on, coats and everything, building sandcastles while we drank a cocktail in a bar.
Well, it'll be hot
great.
enough. It'll be hot enough. And there's 3 of them.
Ours it was 23 to 24 degrees, Ger, with a breeze. It was not hot enough. We
Find
got out of the water,
somewhere.
freezing. Kids Club saved us.
Find somewhere with a pool. Beach. The day we went to the beach was the most stressful day.
Well,
because there's no walls around. Suddenly they're running over here and they're going in a little bit deeper and they're chancing their arm a little bit. You got to have your eyes on them the whole time.
Oh, yeah, but just
whereas if
that's-
they're in a pool, you can just
I
let
don't know.
them
You
have
can't
it.
really, though.
You can.
You still have to have eyes on.
Ours aren't fully swimmers yet.
What ages are yours again?
7, 4 and 3.
Well, like, what day trips in the north of Spain are the 7, 4 and 3-year-old going to be into?
We'll go to Bilbao and there'll
To do
be like,
what?
to go to a playground, and like one of us will nip into the museum for an hour and peace, and the other one will come back and then we'll change over.
How was the museum, Ger? Oh, it was brilliant, yeah. You seem to smell of red wine. Why is that?
And meat products.
Yeah.
What?
What about lunch? No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
You got some chorizo in your pocket. Are you just happy to see me?
Ger, I would think long and hard about this.
Yeah.
For an extra few £100, if you can spare that, go further south, pool. You get down there at 8 a.m. with the Germans, get your towel onto the sunbed, right next to the baby pool, and you sit there sipping beer from 1 p.m. onwards while your kids are in the water. Okay? Everything is done by 7 o'clock. They're exhausted. You go out for dinner. Everyone's to bed, sleep by 10. Boom. Don't be dragging anyone to a bloody museum in the north of Spain where it may piss rain for the next 48 hours.
They won't be going to the museum. There's nice playgrounds. Like, it'll just
Playground,
be...
schmayground. You can go out to Hoth and go into the playground if you want.
Eat the crap food, Ger. You know, this ain't the trip to Spain you're on.
Eat the crap food. I can't eat the crap food. I can't.
Eat the crap food.
I can't eat the crap food.
But
I'm
you've no
like, I'm on
choice.
holidays. I can't eat fucking crap food. I've had enough crap food in my life.
Why does he have to eat crap food? Did I miss this?
Here,
I'm just saying, if he's thinking he's going around Bilbao.
365 days a year times 40 if I'm lucky. That's the number of main meals I have left in my life. Every single one of those that's a crap food meal is like another X scroll towards
But your good
infinite
food, your good. Would you
life
prefer
in the ground.
Would you prefer an enjoyable crap food meal or nice food with 3 angry children around you for the entire time?
The angry children, I've actually learned to tune out. There's just at some point.
Chorizo goes in and it's just.
At some point, I got gifted with this ability to ignore my own children causing trouble around me.
So you don't need
I
to
used
go away at all then?
I used to watch parents who were able to do this and go, "You fucking pricks! All of us, our entire dining experience ruined, and you don't even notice that your child is being the demon over there." And I'm like, oh wow, it's just a thing. You just tune it out, and you can have these conversations.
This is an interesting topic of discussion that wasn't in the very detailed running order we brought in with us. How can you sit there knowing that your kids are destroying the dining experience of fellow diners?
It's too late. It's too late. It's over. My life's already ruined. I'm just like getting on with it now.
In a
restaurant.
proper restaurant.
Well, how proper? How
Well,
proper?
like, as in, like, people are paying to have their meal served to them.
we
by
tend
waiting
to go
staff.
places that are loud now, as opposed to like we're not. There's
Okay, but are
nowhere
they, like
there's
sprinting around the restaurant, like knocking over waiters with stacks of plates.
Oh no,
and,
they're just to like
Shouting.
and the same thing again and again and again and again and again
Fighting?
and again 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 and again. And you're like, how can you? I don't even know how you do that. I don't know how the boy, the youngest, has this ability just to say the same thing for like 4 or 5 minutes, and eventually you realize, even if I answer him, it's not going to fix it. Or when you do answer it, he just ignores the answer.
you just leave it.
You just tune it out. I mean, and I apologise to everybody else around me,
That's
but I
not
don't
ruining-
care.
But that's not ruining other diners' experience. That's
Well,
just a kid being a kid.
It might be.
Like, I thought I had a picture of like the 3 Gilroys just like run around wreaking
No.
havoc.
No, the eldest is great. She'll sit there and eat anything. And like, so that's fine. We just need, the other 2 won't eat anything. Like, even stuff that they ate last night, they won't eat the next night. And you're like, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Just
I went to the trouble of making a lovely spag bol the other night, cooking the sauce from scratch. And both of them, well, only one of them, the older guy decided that he was no longer a fan of bolognese sauce and that he just wanted dry spaghetti. So he had a plate of spaghetti. The other guy, the 2-year-old, he was 2 or 3 bites, having wolfed into his spaghetti and spag bol sauce, everything, full works, looked over at the plate of spaghetti with nothing else in his head. Oh, don't like this. But you've liked it for the last 2 minutes.
Like there was another option on the menu.
I want what he has.
Yeah.
So his dinner was basically thrown out, and I had to go into the spaghetti sauce and just throw a dollop of dry spaghetti on his plate. And he started
gross.
eating it.
Yeah, it's gross.
What's that about?
I know, and plain pasta is just it's an abomination. Our 3-year-old eats bagels every day, right? And then was given a bagel yesterday. It must have been at lunch. I was briefly home at lunch, and fucked it on the ground. And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You wanted a wrap." So he literally just took it and fucked it on the ground. It's worse, sorry. He fucked it in the sink, which was wet. So it got fished out this and like, so that's it, you're not eating.
Just let him go hungry then.
Yeah, but like,
For how long?
so it's obviously incidents like that are happening all day when I'm at work, while my wife's at home for the first time, properly going. So that was a proper conflagration.
God, I hope my wife isn't listening to this episode. I'm afraid now to ring home when I'm at work or out. Just checking in, how's it going?
Oh.
Because it's never good.
I know, instantly. Instantly, if I ring, particularly on, say, a Wednesday where they do swimming and they go to Beavers in the evening. So there's a lot of driving back and forth, rushing for dinner. If I ring at about 4:30, I can tell by the tone this was a pointless call.
Yeah, the way the phone is answered tells you whether or not the making of the call was a mistake. No, so then it's just like...
And then the noise in the background.
Hello, yeah, it's me, just checking in. How's everything going? Fine. And you know that a
Maybe
major
hasn't slept all
incident has just taken place.
You're being quietly judged for not being there.
Yeah. How are you getting on? Yeah, so busy. Very stressful day. Such a stressful day. Almost got my fantasy football team done. Dear God.
I do feel your wife's pain at the moment. It's
there's nothing worse though, I find, than when you're getting home and you're just about to knock on the door and you can just about hear something inside. Dinner's already started.
Yeah.
The carnage has already started.
I'm like, I'm just going to send one more email standing outside my front door in the rain. Rather than go in there.
They're listening to music on. I'll just listen to the rest of this song. Take my headphones back on. Nobody knows I'm here.
Yeah.
It's like, being a member of the emergency service and you come across a horrible incident, you're going, do you know what? I'm just going to hang back here. I'm going to call for backup. Yeah. I'm going to sit in the doorstep for another 10 minutes.
Nothing I can really do to help the situation.
It'll blow itself out anyway.
The expert is inside. Yeah. She can't control this. What the hell am I meant to do? I had a early insight into what life is going to be like in about 6 years' time.
Teenage years.
Yes. So the 7-year-old went off on his camping trip.
Oh yeah, you let him go. Did he sleep the night?
Stayed the whole night.
Right.
So he had said initially...
You had said initially he wasn't
we had
allowed.
said, and that he was going to come home at 10:30, which was an option. And then he seemed to be getting a bit more nervous as it was approaching and said, "Oh, will you pick me up earlier?" Which we couldn't really do. And it was going to be bright anyways. So we said, "Yeah, we will, of course."
Lying.
And got a text from one of the leaders at about 9 o'clock saying he seems to be having a great time, says he wants to stay. Went up anyways to check it out. They were all having a great time, roaming the fields up in the Dublin Mountains.
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I don't want to go home. We're having a midnight feast."
That's brilliant.
So stayed the night, picked him up at 9 o'clock the next morning, happy out with life.
You were concerned whether or not he was going to actually piss.
Yeah, no, that seemed to be...
No big
there was
deal.
no piss issue.
Right.
As in
Christ.
in his sleeping bag?
Or
No,
just he
that's
wouldn't go.
literally ass. So,
Bedtime.
I guess, see, there was no TV was the thing, so there was nothing to probably distract him. Yeah, it was more that he wakes up in the morning and instead of just saying to somebody, "I want to go to the toilet," he
You just go.
leaves it for 3 hours, jumping around manically, instead of just saying, "Can I go to the toilet?" But yeah, it seems he actually just saves that for when he's at home.
Right.
When he's in public, he can,
Oh yeah.
behave properly. So he did that. Fell asleep on the couch at 5 o'clock that evening and slept till 8 o'clock the next morning.
All right.
Because, well, according to him, he's like,
They were up
I went
all
to
night.
bed about 11 and woke up at 7. According to one of the leaders, there was people talking
All
till
night.
about 4 a.m.
Right.
Of which I wouldn't be surprised if
But he had a brilliant
he was
time.
one of them. Seemed to have a good time.
great.
Seemed to enjoy it. But driving away at 10:30 at night was a bit of a,
Yeah. What am I doing?
just leaving my child out
Up
in
the mountain.
Because in my head, I'm like,
What if they're wolves?
well, what if he just wakes up at 3 in the morning
Wanders off.
and goes, I'll have a look outside. I'll go for a little walk.
Are there no
I've never seen it
safeguards in
again.
place?
Sure there are.
They have like a night watchman.
I don't know. I don't think
Everyone asleep.
I don't think the leaders, because they were in the tent by themselves. So there's, I think, 10 of them from first class.
Right.
The 10 of them were in the tent by themselves, and I presume the leaders have their tent at the end, and are trying to keep an eye to make sure
And if
nobody
there's only
does
one
go,
entrance and one exit.
nobody does go wandering. No, but it's just a giant field.
Yeah.
So, but
He's
it seems
grown.
all of them.
He's grown up.
But you're literally going to bed that night looking at, because they say, oh, if there's an issue, we'll give you a call, so leave your phone on. Going to bed going, is my phone on properly? Have I coverage?
Yeah.
Will I definitely hear this?
And how did you feel afterwards?
Good. Like, obviously, quite proud that he actually did this.
Yeah.
That he was, 7 years old, going off by yourself camping for the night.
No, it's a big
I
deal.
don't think I would have done it. First time away from home for a night, probably.
Great.
People he knew.
In there with all his pals, though.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? That helps.
Yeah. So they were all they all, I suppose, push each other on and don't want to be the one who won't do it.
The reason that I was at home yesterday was because we had the introduction to junior infants for our second child, so we had to go to the school, and then I popped in and had lunch with everybody.
Ours is Tuesday coming.
And I was asking my wife afterwards, how were you totes emo? She's like, not at all. Whereas I was like,
Even though it's the second time around.
I know, because it's like, but first time around, I remember it being quite a big thing, but like certainly the first 20 minutes there, I don't normally make small talk. I'm not very good at it. I kind of hate it. It makes my flesh all sticky. And
It's called sweat.
no, it's like quails. It's like I have to talk small talk to people. But I was actually burbling away to people. Exactly. To prevent myself from welling up. It was like, this is the beginning.
Well, I need more info. So I'm.
So our second and third.
Tuesday. Why would you be welling up?
Is your second the favourite?
No, second and third are going to be in school like inside a year. So this is the end. This is it. Now.
Yeah,
It's all
but
finished.
on the
This is
day,
it.
what makes you well up?
No, just the whole like, this is a real thing now. She's going to school.
So in September, you're going to be balling.
Well, maybe this was instead of September. I don't know what's going to happen in September. I mean,
Right.
certainly I had that day booked off, but yeah, I was like,
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on Tuesday.
it was proper totes emotion.
Seeing how he gets on. I hate the small talk as well. Standing in the driveway of Montessori/creche, particularly when there's other dads there, and you should be talking to the guy who's a yard from you.
I know.
Yeah.
And he is probably thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But neither of you could be bothered saying, at least saying, geez, I hope they get out here before it starts raining. Like, at the very least, say that. Whereas there's, say...
I just hope one of them goes, that guy from the DADCAST, that's that kid. Don't talk to him. Don't play with him.
But yesterday, there was about 8 adults in the driveway, so maybe 2 of them were grandmothers who were obviously collecting their kids. There would have been maybe 4 or 5 women collecting their kids.
All very good at small talk.
And 2 dads. All the grandmothers and women are all
I hate
engaged in
that.
these
That's
little
the worst
conversations.
part.
Like, there's a buzz from the chatter in the driveway. There's myself and your man just on the edge of the driveway. Just
Delighted not to be involved.
no, wanting to be involved.
Oh,
but
yeah.
just
All right.
not having the ability really to just, break the ice. Instead of just going up, if I just turn around to your man and said, oh, by the way, I'm Dave, I'm Dylan's dad, I'm sure he'd go, oh, yeah, lovely to meet you, I'm such and such dad. What's going on?
Yeah.
Then the next day, when we're both there, we can actually have a conversation. But did we? No. We both stood there like deaf mutes.
Now,
What is that?
Will it continue for 6 months?
Possibly.
Then it just
I
gets
don't
over.
know. It's a weird social alienation that I think a lot of people have.
Well, I'm...
But you have nothing in common aside from the fact your children have somehow ended
a
up
lot.
in the same
It turns out
school.
that's a
as
lot
much
in
as I have
common.
in common with most of my mates.
So some of my mates have made their best friends, like now. The way you still have mates from when you were young, and then you've mates from college, and you. It turns out you make new mates now, which I didn't realize until quite recently. Friends of mine are doing it.
They met people in the lane.
I know, yeah, exactly. They met at the school gate, and they're like on the piss all the time. I'm like, all right, that's interesting. Yeah. They're like, but you made friends with your neighbours.
yeah,
Go on
but
holidays
they,
with them.
Yeah, but they live beside me
So you're stuck.
and have done for the last 13 years.
So you have to
I don't
chat
like
to
them. They're just
Like,
always there, so I have no
like
choice.
They're like your family.
They're not moving. We're not moving. We're just as well to get on with this.
But,
Fair
so
enough.
maybe I need to broaden my horizons now that I am getting to that age where I'm going to be at the school gates and I'm going to be seeing these dads a lot.
Yeah. Because I work early, I don't get to do the school drop-off. So I'm always like, I feel like everybody else is doing this every day. So it's kind of like you're inserting yourself into the locals' conversation in a pub, which, let's face it, nobody wants. No, everybody's looking at the new person coming into the locals' conversation going, no. No.
It's not happening.
We don't care what you think about Man United's transfer policy. Fuck off. Politics? Get out of here. No.
Well, it's hard for you if you're not there regularly.
You have to be there every day.
Where I'm there,
every
I
day,
picked them up like 3 or 4 days a week.
I drop them off every day.
You're in the club with the...
I'm in the PTA.
Yeah.
We go out for drinks the odd time.
Yeah.
We go out for drinks next week. End of year drinks.
He's the guy you want to be.
Well, I mean,
go golfing with
Nathan definitely does not have the social alienation that you're describing that we both have. Nathan is the opposite.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody, come on down.
I find it easier though if you just get in with the mothers group and extend it. Just extend it. No, but it is. I always find like the two fathers standing on the outside is always a awkward experience.
But it's
There's this pressure
awkward.
of
Why is it awkward? We make it awkward.
We do, but it shouldn't be the case that because then that ends up with like the WhatsApp group is just the mothers instead of I don't want to be in the WhatsApp group anyways by all accounts. But
What's in the WhatsApp group?
I just a lot of nonsense and 500 messages every day.
Yeah.
I don't want 500 messages.
You can mute it
from this.
Yeah.
But it is always you see there's like 10 mothers together and then the two fathers on the outside going, I suppose we better. And especially if the father's the father of a girl and you're the father of a boy and there's no real possibility that they end up being friends.
Why? Because boys can't be friends with girls?
Well, they can, but like in junior infants, like they're not mad keen on that.
Are they not? Ours are like totally mixed.
All right, well,
Never heard of girl germs.
My eldest lad has plenty of friends who are girls. My youngest lad is like, even his birthday party last week, wasn't even too happy if, the girls had to come.
Right.
I was like, nah.
Well,
My little gang, we're all right.
For the purposes of my own personal development and for the development of this podcast,
You're going to make an effort.
I'm going next time. It could be this afternoon. What time are we now? If I'm there at 4:15 and there's another dude standing on the fringes, I will report back next week.
Who's at school at 4:15?
Creche.
Forget about creche. You don't need to be friends with the parents of the kids at creche.
No, but there is still that 5-minute period of utter silence.
Wouldn't worry about that. School
And you're
is
going to
totally
see that
different.
lad again next week.
School, you're going to be seeing them for the next 8 years at the very least. Creche, move on with your life.
I don't know. Yesterday was just so. The silence was deafening.
Does everybody from your creche not go to the school? I know you.
No, there'll be some. There's several schools in the area. I know certainly there's
And some outside the area.
possibly. There are definitely a number that are going to be in the school. So I can't surmise right now as to who isn't in that party.
Right.
I need to talk to everybody. But right now I'm talking to nobody. Because none of the women want to talk to me. They've got all their conversations going on. Plus they're several months ahead of me. They started at the start where I just was ignorant at the start and never made the effort. I'm sure there are thousands of dads in this situation.
Oh yeah, I'd say though that the Maz are quite happy to chat away. No,
Of course they are. It's our issue.
How many days do you need to drop off and pick up your kids to be part of the gang? See, because a lot of the mothers do obviously every day, whereas it seems not as many of the dads do.
I'm surprised now at the number of dads I see in that Montessori driveway.
Right.
There are a few every day. Now there's one or two that listen to the podcast. So when I see them, I talk to them, but I don't see them very often. Who knows? Maybe if I open my mouth, the person might actually be a listener to the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't want the same situation that Nathan ended up in that car park.
Hey!
Where he thought someone was talking about the podcast.
Is this because of this thing?
Fairness.
I want to sidestep that landmine.
Fairness.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people do. Random people have been coming up and talking about the DADCAST.
At the moment, we are T-5 days on toilet training regime number 2.
Well, yeah.
So next week, I will be able to file a 2-day report.
We were supposed to be well into it at this stage, but getting the passport sorted seems to have gotten in the way.
You've enough shit to be dealing with.
Wednesday morning, he's been taken out of creche. Wednesday morning is D-Day.
We're having teething issues.
Oh yeah?
Which one?
The baby. The others just can't get rid of their teeth. So we had from 2 weeks till 6 months, slept 12 hours a night without a problem. For the last 3 months, started waking up around 5, but just wants a bottle and goes straight back to sleep. The last week, waking up at 1 o'clock, goes absolute apeshit, no settling, nothing will work until she has her bottle, smacking the head off us, will eventually go back to sleep, only in our bed with us.
That way.
Till about 5 o'clock.
That way
Rocky
ruination
Road.
lies.
Till about 5 o'clock, wakes up again, repeat, smacking the head of us, will only go back to sleep if she gets her bottle. So now instead of having one bottle at 8 o'clock in the morning like she was having 3 months ago, she's having 2 bottles in the middle of the night, just to keep us sane.
Look,
Can you give it to
my
her?
children
Is
have their
this
own
going
mate, they're
to-
still getting like 4 or 5 bottles a day.
Is this going to end? Like,
Of course
is this,
it'll end.
Is this teething just going to end in a couple of weeks and we'll forget about it and she'll go back to normal? Or are we now in a
This
cycle of
teeth
death?
from like the time she was, whatever time the first one came, up until the time she was nearly 4, like, and big pain and
not what I want
massive
to hear.
temperatures.
How do you know it's
and-
teething?
Well, because you can
just be
see
one of these spells.
no, you can see her first tooth coming up. She is drooling.
Okay, right.
Snot. You
Chewing
name
everything.
it. Chewing everything. All
Gritty
coming
nappies.
out. Everything you
Temperature?
would expect. She's had temperature on and off
Okay.
as well over the last while.
Look, there's no way to put a number on this.
Now you've
Nathan.
worried me because the
There's
two
no
lads never
timeframes.
had any real issue.
Well, it's not. So here's the thing. It's just teething, and when you go,
Well, it's not just teething if it goes on for 3 years.
Well, so it's on and off. I mean, this. If every tooth is a pain to get, it'll always be a pain to get until she's got them all.
You've had a great run of it.
Yeah, in
I know,
fairness.
but I didn't appreciate it. I just
should
presumed
have.
it would last forever. And I've noticed again last night I'm as unreasonable as I was previously at
4 in the
at half
morning.
1 and the 4, I can almost get away with the 4 or 5 in the morning.
If you're
the
4 or 5 hours banked at
It's the
that stage.
half 1 where you've just gone to sleep
The deep sleep.
and the anger levels. The anger level.
The anger's
I think she's
on.
punching me straight in the face.
I know. What are you going
And
to
what
do?
about the baby?
Wow.
You deserve that.
Wow.
Right. Are we out of here?
Yeah.
Did we touch on any actual topics?
Well, we got through a lot today. I feel that
We could start a DADCAST group for parents to say hello to each other at collection time. Some sort of a signal.
You mean like a rip off a friend of the pod, except
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. You know.
Yeah.
Some sort of a signal that people understand. I can talk to this person.
some weird Masonic thing.
we just need to get over ourselves and start opening up a little. Show your vulnerability.
No,
Put yourself out there.
Don't unload on this person, Dave. Just chat about the weather and the football.
What's the update on the snip, Dave?
What's happening?
Only you spoke that in a man's voice. It could easily have been somebody else asking that question.
It's still there. Is it still like this giant silent chasm between you? Or maybe this tiny chasm between you, whatever. If the helmet fits.
Middle-sized cavern between us.
Go on.
I don't have an update. I've no excuse.
You're just wussying out of it.
It's not that I'm. Well, I suppose if there wasn't some, ingrained fear, I probably would have got it sorted at this stage. So yeah, that's probably fair. But I don't know why I haven't done it. Like, I've every intention of doing it, but it's not like it has to be done tomorrow. Like, I can every time I can find a long enough finger just to put it on. And I shall continue to do so for the foreseeable. But if or when it does happen, am I going to come in and just
So many possible comments that I'm trying to hold back on right now.
when it does happen, am I going to come in and say, lads, it's done?
Yeah, why not? Like,
Yeah,
is that not the
full-
whole point?
Yeah.
Full debrief on it.
Yeah, we don't need to see it, but no evidence required. We'll take your word
Where
for it.
are both of you on this?
It's a topic of conversation, all right.
And
Well, I'm exactly the same as you. It's like, yeah.
what about you?
I'll think about it when I'm 40.
When's that?
3.5 years.
But you of all people.
Why is the goal? Oh, so you want more kids?
No. No way I'm having a not necessary operation before I'm 40.
Why is it suddenly necessary when you're 40?
Yeah, what's the cutoff point?
I don't know, maybe I'll feel in a different stage of my life by then. Something to aim towards.
I'm 40 in 4 months. So maybe I'll do it in 4.5 months.
That's bullshit. Like, such an arbitrary thing. Yet, so, I mean, you did say that you were a little bit concerned about your wife's ability to get you drunk one night. Well,
No, but I think now the teething has put a stop to any. There's been a definite realisation.
right, okay.
This can't happen again.
No, I don't know what it is that's going to force me to do it.
Your wife. I mean,
Your wife
She hasn't
annoying
managed
you.
to do it yet.
I know, but like,
She'll wear you down.
Maybe again for just the purposes of the pod, and developing this as a product, as an outlet for fathers out there to
Take one for
vent
the
their
team.
frustration. I should put this in train and get things going.
yeah, well, we could film it. We could do the whole kind of. The
Get
camera,
Johnny,
camera could
send
be
Johnny,
upwards.
Johnny, our videographer, in with you.
Yeah,
It's fine. He's very discreet.
he's not. Right.
Giant camera, little.
Wouldn't need to be that giant.
Need a big lens though to capture everything. Oh, I love it. On that note,
So mature.
another DADCAST is in the books. Rate us on iTunes because it really helps people to discover this stuff. And wherever it is you're getting this, please tell us any feedback you have for us. Indeed, any stories you have about your own vasectomy going right or going wrong, or indeed your kids' holidays. We'll bring them all to air. Thanks very much. DADCAST at offtheball.com or at DADCASTpod on Twitter is the follow. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Good luck.